Hello students, in this class we'll try to understand what exactly procedural programming is. Because in our previous classes we learned how to make programs. Look at this program first, which was there in the last video also. Here we have made a function, area of rectangle, and these things are there. These line of codes are there. First we are creating variables, then an in object for inputting, then output message, then input statement, then area calculation, and then output. Look, in every program, three basic things are there: input, process, and output. In all kind of programs, for anything, for any purpose, no matter how complicated the program is normally based on this concept. It takes input, it is designed to accept input, it processes the input, and finally gives you output. You just compare any of the program with this thing, you'll find that this thing is common. So in our all the programs, we need data, we need to process it, and we need to give output. So let us have a look over this function. Area of rectangle is a function, and it's obvious that why we have made this. Let us make this clear by writing a comment. Okay, now the comment will tell you that why this function is there. And so in this function also, we are first inputting. These settings are there for inputting. Settings are there. We are giving a message for the sake of proper input. Here we are inputting, actually inputting the data. Here we are actually processing the data, and here we are actually outputting the result. So you'll find this common in all the functions or all the programs. So the main thing here is that this is a function from here till here. We have made another function, simple interest. Comment is already there. In this program, in this function also, we'll have the common thing: the setting for input, actual input, then the processing part, and then the output. So we have these two functions. Functions are also known as sometimes procedures. Why I'm telling so? Because in this class, we'll try to understand what exactly a procedural programming is. Procedural programming is focused over procedures or functions. In procedural programming, we normally make functions and we call those functions and get our work done. Okay. So now you might be asking, so what do we do in other programming? In procedural programming, we make procedure and get our work done. Then what do we do in other programming? So we have one more programming concept, which is object oriented, and Java is fully object oriented programming. And all the object oriented programming supports procedural programming also. And that's why we are able to make procedural programming in Java itself. But basically we have to learn object oriented. Now what is object oriented? We'll see this, but not now. First you understand the procedural programming, and then it will be easy for you to understand what is the procedural, what is the difference between them actually. So in the video, on the previous video and the video one which was there before this, we have made a simple program. There were no procedures. We just made a main function and wrote everything in the main function. That was an example of a simple, very simple program which hadn't any procedures or functions. Then we learned how we can convert program into procedural or transform the program in procedural or make functions in the program. And now we have two functions in our this program. One is area of rectangle, simple interest. And yes, of course, a main function is there. And you must know that main function is the main function from where the execution starts. And what is then the main function? These things are there. What is these things? Means these three codes will be only executed. How? What is this? This is simple output. This is how we are calling a function. And this is also how we are calling a function. Only these things will be done. And when we call a function, the function is invoked, and whatever we have written in the function, whatever instructions are given, are executed. Now, let us read the definition of procedural programming. What is a procedure? First of all, let us try to understand what is a procedure. In computer programming, like Java, a procedure is a set of coded instructions. Now let us compare this definition with what we have done. Look, this is a procedure, okay? And it is a set of coded instructions. These are the set of coded instructions which tells a computer how to run a program or how to do a calculation. So here it is said to the computer, or it is instructed to the computer, then when this function will be invoked, then what you have to do. So the computer has to do these things. Many different type of programming language can be used to build procedures. Many programming languages are there which supports making procedures. Java is one of them. Other all the languages are there which support this. Depending on the programming language, a procedure may be also called subroutine. And that depends on programming language. And in different programming language, we call these procedures with different names. Like in few programming language, we call the same thing with this name subroutine. We also call them subprogram. We also call them functions. And we also call them methods. Methods we also call. It is not mentioned here, but we call it. So what you have to keep in your mind that subroutine or program or function or method are the similar thing or same thing. Okay. So this is a function. This also can be called a subroutine. This also can be called a subprogram. This also can be called a method. And this is procedure. And the program which is based on these procedures are simply known as procedural program. In such programming, programming concept, we get our work done in a different way. What is that different way will become only clear when we will compare the procedural programming with object oriented. But how can we compare? We need to have idea about both the type of programming concepts, then only we can compare. If we have idea about one, then how can we compare with the other whose idea we have not yet got? So in order to clearly differentiate between what is a procedural and object oriented, we first need to understand both of them. So first we are trying to understand what is a procedural programming. So let us now try to find it here. What is procedure in programming? Now, what is procedure oriented programming or procedural programming? Let's read. Look, now you may be able to understand the things which is written here. Procedure oriented or function oriented or function based means function using different functions for different tasks in a program. It is a technique of encapsulation where every single task is done using individual function or procedure. Like this, if we wanted to get the area of rectangle, we made a different procedure. If we wanted a simple interest, we made a different procedure. If we want to do something else, then we may have a different procedure. So this is what a procedural programming is. We'll not see this difference between these two because first we need to understand object oriented. Now let us see what Wikipedia says. Look, dear students, you can only be able to understand all these things, all this concept, if you'll go from bottom to top. Means whatever I have taught you in the very beginning till today, everything should be there in your mind, and only then you will understand all these things. And all such students who are not taking care, who are just ignoring the things, then the things will become very tough for you to understand. And it's in your hand, and everything is uploaded there. You see the playlist known as the revised Java playlist. It has everything from the very beginning. So that will help you, certainly help you to understand this video also. So what is procedural programming? Let us see. Procedural programming is a programming paradigm derived from structured programming based on the concept of procedure call. Procedure call means procedure is what? The method, the function, we call it, we call them. What? How do we call them? This is how we call them. We have made the procedure first and now we are calling it. We have made a procedure first and now calling it. This is what it is. Procedures, also known as routines, subroutine, function, simply contain series of computational steps, series of instructions to be carried out. Any given procedure might be called at any point during the program execution. Any function can be called any time during the execution. Yes. Including by other procedure itself. Means one procedure can call the other one also. It simply means, can we call this area of rectangle function in simple interest? Yes, we can call it. Means one function can call other function also. That we will see. The first major procedural programming language appeared, which name is appeared circa 1957 to 64. During this era, the first procedural programming appeared, including this Fortran. If you want to know more about it, formula translation, its full form is. It's used for making scientific programs. If you want to know more about it, then you can just read it here. Fortran is a general purpose compiled imperative programming language that is especially suited to numeric computation and scientific calculations. Okay. Algol is there. These are the names of early means when they came during this time. Okay. Algol, COBOL, common business oriented language. And these are the basic also we study. Pascal, C. So these are a few major programming languages, among which C is the most prominent one, which is still used, and it is the most powerful, one of the most powerful procedural programming language. So these things are there. So dear students, this is how we can understand that what is a procedural programming. The programming which uses procedures, these functions, of course. So this is how. So let us try to learn something more about procedural programming. You can see how we have called this. I can show you one thing. Let us do one thing. Let us try to call the simple interest function in area of rectangle. Is this possible? Let us try. So let us expand this procedure and simple message calling sim interest, and let us call it here. How the name is? This is how you should match sim interest here. Call it. Calling sim interest function. Why to write the spelling right the same way? This function, calling this function in area of rectangle. Okay. End of area of rectangle means these messages will tell us that we are still in area of rectangle. So let us see what happens. As I said, things will become a little complicated, and only those will be able to understand, those who are paying proper attention, and those who are taking it lightly, they will remain back in this race, and they will be the sufferer. and they will have nothing in their hands. Dear students, please do not waste your time. Everything is there with you. Please practice. Yes. Now what? Did I saved it? Once you save it, Control S, and now you try to compile it. Okay. Java C. What's the name? Work.java. Look, there is no problem. Now let us run this. Java work. Always remember that when we are executing any, when we write any class, then the execution starts from the main function. So what is in the main function? First, this line will be executed. Say, let's begin, and then now say now which function is called sim interest. So go to sim interest first. Now it's following the instructions. Now enter the principal amount, enter the rate of interest, enter the time. Now it has calculated the simple interest. Now what? After this function ended, after encountering this, it ended, and it ended. Then it came back to the main function, and what's next in the main function? This is the next thing to be done. And what is this? This is the calling of area of rectangle, invoking this area of rectangle function. Now go up and call this function. Two variables created, then this created, then this line is there, and then this line is there. Yes, what we see here. And now look, this is recorded, so you can watch it any number of time in slow motion, fast forward way. You can pause it, you can repeat it. Now enter the length and breadth. Look, dear students, what is going to happen? These things will execute, area will be followed up, and then this line will be executed. Look at this. Area, this is executed, and this line is there because of that. Now calling sim interest function. Now this line tells us that we are still in area of function and we are calling that function. And when we call this function, what happened? Again, this function invoked. Again, this function invoked, and what? These things started once again. Enter, these variables are again created, then this created, then this, and then this, and now it's asking for the okay. Then net payable amount with interest, net payable amount with interest, and then what? It ended here, and it ended. Then where it will go? It will not go to the main function. It will go to the function which has called it. So it will go back here. And sim interest is over, then it will come back here, which has called it. And then after this, so there is something also. This line is there. So this line is there. End of area of record rectangle. And then it ended with this. That this is the end of area of rectangle. Now, when this ended, it will go back to the function which has called the area of rectangle function, which is called, this is called. And what is after this? After this, it has nothing. It has simply end of the main function, and this is how program ended. So we can do like this. And think about function or procedure in this way. Suppose this function, or let us take an example where there is a colony where a lot of people lives. In the same colony, one doctor is there, one engineer is there, one plumber is there, one carpenter is there, one mason is there. Suppose these people are there. So think of them as different functions. Doctor is a function, engineer is a function, plumber is a function. What else was there? Mason is a function, carpenter is a function. All these are functions. So it doesn't mean that no one can call each other. Yes, if a doctor needs an engineer, then doctor will call engineer, and engineer will do his work. If engineer need a carpenter, he will call a carpenter. If carpenter need a doctor, he will call a doctor. If carpenter need a engineer, he will call an engineer. Engineer will do his work. So any function can call any other function. and the example we can see here, and see how simple these things becomes. And these things will become more clear if you will practice, if you'll experiment, if you'll make some more functions, and we'll call this function in that, that in this, and this in that. So this is how the concept will become very clear to you, and you will be able to understand the programming in a proper way, because we have a lot of things to learn, and the only way to learn programming is to practice properly. Practice. No other way. No one can learn programming without practicing. No one. Even if your IQ is 100 out of 100, no one can learn. So, dear students, this much for today. In this class, I suppose you have learned what is a procedure, what is a procedural programming based on. Procedural programming is based on procedures, methods, functions, and we make functions for different things, and we call them as and when they are required. So, this is for today. Thank you.